if I'm doing this and someone goes, that cat looks weird, I'll be like, get out from underneath my armpit. Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Kelly, also known as Roro and Kids, and today we're going to talk about how I got on with my Make 9 2024. So, I don't know if I did well or not last year. I'm definitely making some changes this year, but we'll talk about that next week. But let's have a look at my Make 9. So my Make 9 this year had 5 jumpers on it. It had 3 shawls and a pair of socks. I don't think that's feasible for me with all the other knitting that I have to do. But we'll see what happens when I haven't made my Make 9 for next year, so we'll see what happens. But I need to learn some lessons. Anyway, let's go through them one by one, shall we? And we'll see how I got on. So first up is the Polkacats, and as you can see, I did finish. So the Polkacats is by Marna Gilligan, and it comes in. Marna Gilligan just does loads of things on cats. It comes as the pattern itself has patterns for the jumper, a cardigan, or a steeped cardigan. And there is extensive charts in the pattern, and yeah, it is riddled with errors, and it's riddled with errors, and you kind of have to do a lot of counting and making sure that your cats are lining up, because they don't line up if you follow the pattern exactly. It's a really awkward one. So let me go back. So I've wanted to knit this for ages, and then I got my 2023 Advent from Truly Hooked last year, and it was a all things bright and beautiful Advent, so it was all the colours, and it was like a rainbow, and I was like, that's what I want to use for my Polkacats. And originally I wanted like a cream colour, but then when I was shopping for the cream colour, my main colour I used, I can't speak today, I'm so sorry. I use drops most of the time for my main body of things, or now I use Yarn Smith's Merino sock as well, because I don't have the budget for all hand-dyed sweaters, jumpers, pullovers, jerseys. I don't have that budget for that type of garment. The main colour of this was drops. Oh, I'll put it on the screen because I can't remember. Drop something. I want to say Nord. It's not Flora because that one hurts my fingers, I think. Oh, I don't know. Anyway, so when I was looking, I was looking for a cream colour, but then this one caught my eye. But it caught my eye and I thought it was like a slightly beige cream. And when it came, it was a lot darker. So then I was like, I don't know if I like it. But now I love it. I do love it. I loved it as I was knitting it. I fell in love. I think it works perfectly. I really, really love the colours. I will stand up and show you how it transgresses. I'm going to fall on the camera. But I will pop pictures up of the finished thing anyway. So yes, so Polkacats is a top-down jumper. The one I did. There is others, like I said. It's top-down. You knit some short rows in the back, so you knit and then you join it together. So you knit flat for a little bit, then you join it together. When you join together, the cats don't line up. So, or they didn't for me, so then I had to work out exactly how many stitches I needed to join it up, because you cast on. So I had to cast on, I can't remember, it wasn't 1 or 2, it wasn't a lot, but it just didn't, the cats were not going to line up. I have to apologise because I have a tickly cough and I'm going to keep clearing my throat, and I'll try and cut it out, but I'm sorry if I can't cut some out. So then you set up and you do, like, it's raglan increases, so you're fine, and they do line up there. But then when you get to separate for the sleeves, they don't line up. You've got to make sure and then it doesn't tell you how many stitches you should have for the body. It doesn't tell you how many stitches you're supposed to have for the sleeves. It literally tells you to go from marker to marker. So you don't know if you've increased correctly. You don't know, like, you could have missed an increase. You could have done 2 increases by accident. It's very possible. It happens. It doesn't give you the numbers to know if you're correct. So then you're in guesswork, and you're also struggling to make sure that your cats line up. Once your cats have lined up on the body, it is straight going because there's no shaping in the body at all. It's just straight down. The hem of this, I think the neckline is folded as well. The hem is a folded hem. It is straight with your main colour, and then you turn it, there's like a pearl row so you can flip it up, and then on the inside there's a pattern, and it's called a secret pattern. Now whether that is someone said when I was knitting it at the time, someone said it could be an Amish thing because they have, I think it was Amish. Was it Amish or was it Mormon? No, I think it was Amish. They said they have like secret patterns inside their clothes because their clothes are quite plain and everything, so they have like secret fancy bits. Whether it's that, I don't know. I don't know anything about Marna Gilligan, whether she's Amish or I don't know. However, when I knitted mine, it like folded, and it was like flipping and pulling, and it like bulged out at the sides. It looked awful. So I pulled it out and did a rib. And then I decided to just match the rib because it's all folded hem. So I matched the rib on everything. And then went on to my sleeves. This jumper was a trial, like, and I don't mean a trial as in of a practice run. It was like a quest trial. It was quite an epic thing of trying to figure stuff out. And I've said this before, personally, I design knitting patterns, so on the regular I am calculating and working out and figuring things out in a knitting pattern. So when I want to knit something for myself, I don't want to have to do any of that. I just want to sit and knit what is written on that page. So when it's wrong and I have to start getting a calculator out and start figuring stuff out, it just winds me up. It annoys me. Because I think I've paid for this, and if I can sit and do it, then so can you. Come on now. It's annoying. And yeah, there's mistakes in my patterns. We're human. It happens. But I fix them if I find out about them. So it's irritating. Anyway, not going there. The sleeves, I cannot remember the length of this. I've got a lot of sunshine there, I'm sorry. Is that better? The sleeves, can't remember where the sleeves are supposed to end. I know that I didn't follow the pattern for them. I just knitted to the length that I wanted, and then did the ribbed cuff again. I wanted them 3/4 length. I wanted them quite loose. At this point, the sleeve, there's extensive sleeve charts in the pattern, but they do not line up whatsoever. And again, I had no idea how many stitches I was supposed to have on my sleeve without sitting with a calculator, which I was not prepared to do. So my cats do not line up under the arm at all. If I can show that. Here we have double-headed cats, and we have cats merging into other cats, and at that point I did not care. I was like, I don't care, as long as the top looks okay, if I'm doing this and someone goes, that cat looks weird, I'll be like, get out from underneath my armpit. So yeah, Polkacats. Do I recommend the pattern? No. Sorry, I don't say that very often. But no, I don't. Sorry. Anyway, moving on, shall we? So the next on the list is the Lone Skein Shawl by Jorge Locatelli. Oh, this isn't... I don't whinge all the time, honestly. But I need a tea. I do have a fair bit of whinging about some of my Make 9 this year. So, right, the Lone Skein Shawl. Okay, so here it is in all its finishedness. I would say glory, but it's not. So I'm sorry about that light there. Let's look at this side instead. There's tassels on the end. Okay, so I used a special skein, which was a Skein in the Stitch 100% Merino, which I accidentally bought, but then didn't realise until I started knitting socks with it that, oh, that's too soft for sock yarn, and then realised it was 100% Merino. It is the Ipaetus, also I cannot remember the name of it, from her Titans collection a couple of years ago. I don't think she still does it or anything. It's just a cream with brown flecks, but it's just very, that sun is very annoying. It's just very pretty. Oh, don't be a nuisance. It's because I've come on a bit late. The sun's moving over. Oh, there we go. I decided I wanted to knit this shawl because in Jorge's photos it just looks really lovely, and I do have a problem with Jorge's photos in the fact that her shawls, you can't really see what's going on. I've said this before and I will say it later, because you can't properly see what's happening, and that's an odd thing. So you cast this on with a garter tab, which if you knit shawls you will know is not the best start, and it makes a little lump. This has been heavily blocked. Like, I drenched it and I pinned it within an inch of its life. I stretched the crap out of it to make it stay in a crescent shape. It is not an equal crescent shape. It is like a lopsided weird thing. It doesn't look it now because I've really battered it, honestly. It is just the oddest shawl. So see, this is what I mean by its weird shape. The centre, obviously it looks like the centre is like about here or something, but the centre is actually here, so it's like off-sided. It's very strange. Anyway, I knitted this expecting something great, and it was just very boring. Nothing really happens, and then it had this very bizarre like triangle at the top, and then off-centre thing. Just weird. She also asks you to stick a tassel into every single little picot, but I kind of liked the picots and I didn't want them hidden with the tassels, so I just stuck 2 on the end. She does offer that option too. I stuck 2 on the end and kept my picots, but you know, it's blocked, and it's blocked okay. And it's actually a nice sized shawl, and it will get some wear now that I have almost killed it in the blocking process. Yeah. Do I recommend this pattern? Yes, if you want a kind of like, just, you know, when sometimes you do want a bit of tedium, don't you? You do want something that's just like, I don't need anything too taxing, I don't need anything, I just want a little bit of interest, then it's probably for you. There is Katie, who is in my Discord, also knitted this and said exactly the same as me, that she just found it incredibly boring to knit. But it could be your thing, 100%. I don't recommend the way that it's worked, like that garter tab at the beginning. I think there could have been a better way to do that. But other than that, as long as you've got blocking, you have to be able to block to knit this shawl, because it will not sit on you. You'd have a big point up in your face, basically, without the blocking. But other than that, I will wear it. Now it's blocked, I will wear it. As soon as it starts to spring back to its stupid shape, which is already slightly, and I only blocked it yesterday. It'll have to be reblocked and reblocked and reblocked, I think. But it's lovely and soft because of the yarn. And it is just, it's like a go with anything type shawl. And I am happy with it now that it's done. But I know regular viewers know that I was not happy. When I was knitting it, I was like, what is this? What is this shape? This is ridiculous. Next is Adventitious by Olga Patano Designs. So, this was on my make line the previous year, 2023, and I cast it on and tried it. So, long story short, my mum had bought me some yarn for Christmas 2022, it must have been. My mum never ever buys me anything to do with knitting. Even though she used to be a knitter herself, she was one of those old school knitters that only used acrylic and stuff. So she doesn't really understand the hand-dyed era of knitting. And she just looks at hand-dyed skeins and goes, well, that's expensive, and moves on back to the acrylic, which is fair enough. I get it. I've got fluff floating around me. But she bought me some yarn without really knowing what she was doing, and she bought me lace weight yarn, which I'm grateful, because she bought me yarn. Crinkling to still in its packet. She bought me a lot of lace weight yarn. So this is what I got. So it was 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Yeah, there was 10 balls of it in here. This is a discontinued yarn now. Debbie Bliss Rialto lace. I'm trying to avoid that sun. It is moving, but it might be here for the entire video, which is very annoying. It's 100% wool, and it's lovely. I'm not 100% on the colour, but it is nice. The problem is I didn't know what to knit with it, because I'm not a lace weight person. I could hold it double. I realised there's probably enough to be able to hold it double, but I was still really struggling. And then I found Adventitious and was like, oh, I bet that's so lovely to wear. It'd be so lightweight and so, oh, like, I think that would be a joy to finish and wear. However, it takes about 10 years to knit an inch. This is how far I got. So this is 2 years work on this. Granted, I do not pick it up very often, because it literally, I know I said 10 years, but in all honesty, I think I knitted an inch and it had taken me 2 hours, and I just thought, oh my God, because although it's bottom up and you're not doing too much, you've got this like lacy cabled type panel on the front and again on the back. So it's exactly the same, and then the rest you're just knitting, stocking stitch around and around, so just knitting. But it just doesn't grow, and although in my mind I'm like, oh, I really want that, and I love the look of the top on the pictures and everything, I'm frogging it. I am. I have to. I cannot carry on. It's just never going to happen. And the thought of trying to get 30 odd inches to my armpit or whatever it is, I also want my Chiagos back. They're on, I don't even know what this is. What size is it knitted on? 3.25. It's just like, it's not for me. It's not for me, so I am going to frog it. And I will tell you what I'm going to do with this yarn, because my mother-in-law has bought me some mohair because she doesn't know what she's doing buying yarn either, and she took a punt. So my battery died, but I was saying that the mohair and the lace are going to come together and be majestic. And I hope you got the rest of it, and if you didn't, I'll write something on the screen and explain what on earth I was talking about, because I've no idea when it stopped recording me. I did take the liberty of packing the crinkly bag away off camera. So next is Maia. Oh, another one to whinge about. I've only done, all I've done is whinge. So Maia is by Bloom and Create, or Emma Janet. Is it Janet? Yes, Emma Janet. And it was one that I'd seen at a yarn show that someone had knitted in grey and white, and I fell in love with. I don't really like the orange one in the pictures, but the grey and white that I saw in the yarn show, it was on Beehive Yarn stall, and I just, oh my god, I just absolutely loved it. So I needed it, and it went on my Make 9. However, what I didn't notice at the time, slip of tea time, is that it was available from Pom Pom magazine. Move the camera a bit, and it might stop the glow. Anyway, it was available from Pom Pom magazine, but you could only get it in Pom Pom magazine, and it was £15 something, and I didn't like any of the other patterns in that issue of Pom Pom. They just weren't for me. So I waited and waited and waited, to the point where I actually messaged the designer on the pattern page, like, you know, when you can leave a comment on the pattern page, and said, are you going to be releasing this separately? And she said, I don't know, do you want me to release it separately? I was like, well, I wouldn't be asking if I didn't. So I was like, yes, I do. And she never replied, and it's still only available through the magazine. So I'm not paying £15.50 for the one pattern. It's a lot. So the link is below, so have a look what that is in your own currency and decide for yourself. I get that I'm a designer. I know that patterns are underpriced. My God, I know how much work I put into, especially garments, which is why I don't have many, because I don't have the time to put in that much amount of work. Like how these people like Sari, Nordlund and everything just keep banging out garments, I have no idea, because I can't. It's so much work, and you don't get a lot for them. They have to be popular to really earn your money back. But £15.50 is just a little bit too much for me, personally. For one pattern, especially when I'd obviously be buying it and getting a book of patterns, which is fine, but I don't like any of the other patterns. I will not knit any of the other patterns, so it was kind of a pointless thing. So I am going to take, I've obviously haven't cast it on, I haven't done anything with it whatsoever, and didn't buy the yarn for it, thankfully. I did look a few times, ooh, I could cast on Maia and blah, 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 because I'm an idiot and I don't look at things properly. Once I realised it was only in Pom Pom, then I was like, oh, don't buy the yarn for that, Kel, that would be very silly. So I haven't. I have stepped away from it, and I'm going to keep it in my queue, push it down my queue. I tend to have my 9 at the top of my queue, and then everything else below is not really in any particular order, it's just chucked in there. But yeah, I'm shoving it down my queue, and I'm going to wait and see if she releases it separately. If she doesn't, she doesn't, but if she does, then it'll go on my Make 9 the following year, and I will get that done because I love it. But I'm just not prepared to buy the whole magazine for it. I've actually been looking for the magazine on sale and everything. I haven't found it. Right, so that's Maia. The next one is Exploration Station, which is a Stephen West design. For those of you living under a rock. I'm joking. this is my exploration station. So this was like prominent for a few weeks on my podcast while I worked through it. It took me a while to get my colours, how I wanted them and everything. I absolutely love the colours in the end, to the point where I have so much... Hello. So, my camera overheated. Yay! I think I need a new one. So we have changed to my phone and hopefully it's okay. It's not the greatest, but it will have to do, I'm afraid. Hopefully it picks up my voice well enough, but I'm assuming you have noticed a change in probably... I don't know about quality, because it's a decent phone and a decent camera and I use it for vlogging, but quality of voice, I'm not sure. So I apologise if that has dropped, and I apologise if I keep looking at myself instead of looking at you. But it's one of them things. Right, so anyway, we were talking about exploration stations. So it took me a while to get my colours together, but I did absolutely, I've got hair stuck in it. I did absolutely love the colours in the end. And I've got so much left over that I'm going to try and do a striped tee in these colours because I've got loads left. So exploration station itself, you start at this top bit and you do these short row wedges, which I love. I want a whole shawl in just wedges like that. Like none of the rest of it. I really, really do. I loved doing them. Then you went on to brioche, which I don't mind brioche. Yeah, it's okay. But then you went on to these two boring bits. There was like these weird slip stitchy things and this kind of garter, but it's not garter. You like, oh, I don't know. You're like slipping the stitches up and down the needle all the time. And then the edging, which was just like a chevron type. Decreasing and increasing thing going on. It is a beautiful shawl. I do really like it. It's just not quite long enough, like its wingspan. So I wore this at Yarndale, and it was constantly falling off and driving me mad. See, it seems long enough there, but it's kind of choking me a bit. I don't want it that tight. And then so this bit was constantly falling off and I was like, oh my God. So I did actually buy a shawl pin to just try and keep this on. And it was basically with this shawl in mind to keep it on, because it was driving me batty at Yarndale how many times it fell off. But it is beautiful. I've seen lots and lots of beautiful exploration stations. It is a lovely, lovely design. But it does get a bit boring around here. You're working long, long rows, obviously. And this is just like, it's just not, it's not that fun to do. But the rest of it is amazing. I loved it. I really did. And I'm sorry about that light. Go away, sun. It's nearly over. It's nearly gone past. So that is my exploration station. Would I recommend that pattern? Yes. Yes, I would. Even though those end bits are a little bit boring, it's worth it in the end because the pattern's beautiful. If you get your colours spot on, like I did. No, I'm joking. But if you get your colours spot on, you have got a beautiful shawl. Yeah, 100%. I do recommend that one. What's next? Broken Wings by Jorge Locatelli. So this was blocked yesterday and is such a dainty, beautiful little thing. It's lovely. So Broken Wings, you remember me saying that Jorge doesn't show her pictures very well. Like she has a big picture of Broken Wings and it's like draped over some piping or something that looks great. But I did not know that this section happened at all until I was knitting it. Or actually, that's a lie. Mackenzie in my Discord, hello Mackenzie, Mackenzie in my Discord was knitted it first. She knitted it before me, and she said the twisted rib at the end, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, the what? Where's the twisted? And she was like, yeah, no, I thought that too. Like, it's not in the pictures. So you start here and you knit sideways. You do picots all the way along. You do this lovely lace work, which, honest to God, I normally follow charts for lace work, but I could not follow the charts for it, and I don't know why. So I use the written version. There is written and charted. It's beautiful lace. You go along and then you start to decrease your lace back in again, and then you get to a certain point and you start bringing in twisted rib. And then you do your twisted rib to the end, and then you put these weird little bobbly bits on the end that looks like a bunch of grapes. It's strange. But I haven't even put it on yet, you know. I don't know how long it is or anything. I think it's like quite an ideal shawl to just wear now under a coat. I have a big coat that's like a sleeping bag, and so I can't wear like my big shawls because it's just too much bulk and I get too hot. So this is like perfect for just keeping the chill off my neck while I'm in my sleeping bag coat. Yes, so it is beautiful. I do recommend the pattern. It is nice to do, especially once you get the lace in your head. It's quite simple. I used Lockwood Fibres 100% Merino in the steel colourway for this, which I love. I just think it's the perfect name for it as well. So yeah, that is my broken wing shawl. So just remember, if you do pick up the pattern, it's got twisted rib at the end. Who knew? Who knew? She needs a better photographer. Or she just needs to, I don't know who takes pictures, or if she takes them. I take all mine myself because I don't have a photographer. I don't have a team. It's just me. But I'm assuming Jorge at this point has at least one person helping her out. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe she does it all herself. Next up is Botanical Socks. They are by Paula Wiśniewska. I'm sorry, Paula. It's probably completely incorrect. I have the yarn skeined up and everything. Skeined up. I always do that. Caked up and everything for these socks, but I've never had chance to cast them on. They're actually, there's a project for them on Ravelry, like in my project page. I started it accidentally. I don't know how I did it, but I accidentally like opened up a project page for them. I might have been drunk. I don't know. It's possible. It is possible because on a Friday night sometimes I'm like, what can I drink? You drink rum, Kelly. What can I knit now? And I might have started a project page. I don't know, but whatever. Yeah. So there's a project page set up. So I do need to knit them because the project page is sat there, and the yarn's like it's caked, not skeined. It is caked, waiting for me to knit them. So I will cast them on at some point and get them done because I do like them. And it's nice to knit other sock patterns every now and again instead of just my own all the time. So that is the Botanical Socks. I have nothing else to say about them. The next one is the Rococo by Sari Nordlund. Oh my God. If you've been with me a while and you've seen I've only ever done make 9. I think this is the 4th make 9 I've done. I can't remember. The Rococo has been on every single one and I still haven't done it. I have the yarn and everything. My trouble with Rococo is I cannot get gauge. So earlier on this year, when I didn't have any real time, I decided, I did do a gauge swatch for it because I had a little bit of time. So I sat and did a gauge swatch. And and change the needle and try to get the gauge that she says in the pattern, and I can't get it. So I decided that I was going to just get the gauge that I'm happy with and then work out what size I need to do. And I'm going to do that, and it is going to be my next cast on this year, like big cast on. I have nothing big on the needles at the minute, and everything is just socks. Yeah, everything is socks. I can't think of anything else that I've got on the needles. I have a few pair of socks though. But yeah, I am going to, my next big cast on is 100% going to be the Rococo, because I want some long sleeve jumpers. I did say at the end of a podcast, I think last year, I have no long sleeve jumpers other than one, which is my Circle by Kate Davies, and I love it. And I love that these are like 3/4 length because the sleeves don't get in my way, but when it's cold and I want a cosy jumper, I don't have one. I have to put a hoodie on or my Circle. So I need more. And Rococo is the first one to be done. I'm going to do it next year. This year. Oh my God, I've just tempted fate. This year, I'm doing Rococo. I am. And finally, the last one on my make knife last year was the Summer Sorrel by Wool and Pine. And it is here. That's the wrong way. Here it is. This is such a lovely pattern. I haven't blocked it, but I don't think it actually needs blocking. So I'm not going to. I never blocked my ranunculus either. It doesn't, I wear it all the time. It doesn't need blocking. I could probably open these out a little bit more, but honestly, it just doesn't need it. When it's on, it just looks lovely, and I'm just not that bothered about messing about with it. It was knitted in 100% merino singles, so that kind of frightens me a little bit with the blocking process. I don't want to felt it. And yeah, I mean, it will get washed at some point. But I will stumble across that bridge when I come to it. I'm covered in hair. Must be going bald soon. I mean, the only thing that I think could do with benefit as blocking is these, because they keep curling up, which is the sleeves. But when it's on, they don't do that. So this was knitted in Lovehandyed merino singles in the Icy Blast colourway. And it is incredibly soft, and like it has this fluffy halo. And it's just, it's gorgeous. It feels so lovely. The pattern itself is from Wool and Pine, who are fantastic. My only, there's every pattern that I've ever done of theirs, there's a measurement that they don't put in. I think they say about when you split for the arms, make sure something measures this. It's like, I can't remember what it is, but it's like they don't state where you measure from or anything. You've kind of got to guess a little bit. And that's my only, about, and it's in every pattern. They obviously just don't want to put that in. I don't really know why. It's an odd one. But that's my only about it. Now, since I've knitted this, I've heard a few people saying they're worried about these. But Wool and Pine has, I come to it and I was like, what do you do? But then there's a video link, and the video is so clear to show you what to do. And it's so simple. Like, please do not be frightened to do them. They are so simple to do. It's literally dipping your needle down and picking up from below, because you're knitting it upside down, obviously. You're knitting it this way. So you literally, oh, this is awkward, isn't it? You literally, because that's sun. You're literally knitting across, and then you dip down and pull up. So you're here, and you'll dip down and pull up these stitches like this, and then you carry on knitting across. You dip down, pull up stitches. Honestly, it's so easy. And I don't mean pull up stitches that are already done. I mean, you pull your yarn through and pull it up. And their video is very, very clear. So please do not be concerned about the dip stitch, as it's called. The next thing that happens is you do knit all this yoke this side, But then once you get to the underarms and you separate for the sleeves, you split and you work the rest of it inside out. So you literally just knit. So you just knit, 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 knit. And then you just make sure that all your ends are on this side. Like there's one, because it was a mess. That was a failed spit splice and it went all lumpy. I wasn't impressed. So yeah, and then you turn it back the right way and you've got a what looks like a reverse, well, it is reverse stockinette, reverse stocking stitch top, but you haven't done loads and loads of purling. So love it. I do love it. My sleeves are curled in again, look. It's annoying, but they don't when you wear it, so I'm not bothered. Yes, I definitely recommend the pattern. I know there's different versions as well, so you don't have to knit it in 4-ply. I think you can do one in DK or something. There's like spring sorrel or something, and there's jumpers with longer sleeves. Like there's lots of different versions of it, so go and have a look. But it's definitely, I love the neckline. It's just beautiful. It's beautiful. I don't knit patterns more than once. I think there's too many beautiful patterns out there to be knitting the same one again and again. But I would knit that again in a different colour because it's just so pretty. It's really flattering to wear and it's lovely. So there you go. I might knit a different weight maybe and have a jumper of it or something. I don't know. But it is really beautiful. So that is the Summer Sorrel. I do recommend it by Wool and Pine. I think that's it. That is all 9. So I did, how many did I get done? 1, 2, 3, 4. I did 5 out of 9, which isn't too bad considering one was a lost cause, the Adventitious. It was never going to happen. One was never properly released, the Maia. It is released, but it's, do you know what I mean? Rococo is like the bane of my life. I don't know what's going on with it and why it has such a bizarre gauge. I don't know. And then botanical socks they're going to be done. I will sort them out and get them done. So there we go. That is my Make 9 of 2023. I apologise for all the rubbish over here, but I'm in the process of sorting out my desk. And I have piles and piles of stuff. There's my Go-Go Dynamo. And then this is some yarn that I have to design for a magazine. And then this is yarn. Ooh, that looks weird. This is yarn that I need to put away. And then that's all hanging on the back of my door, but you just can't see my door. So yeah. Right. Anyway, I should have said at the beginning, Happy New Year, because this is my first video of the year. And you're probably all going to leave me in floods now and go, oh my God, why did I follow her? But for those of you who stay, thank you very much. Right, and now I'm going to go and work out what my Make 9 is going to be. For this year, I'm going to be a little bit more mindful this year. Not put 5 jumpers on there. Even though I'd love to knit 5 jumpers in the year, but I just don't have time because I have to do magazine works and things. And I also kind of need to design stuff. So, yeah, so I can't knit 5 jumpers in a year. I might try for 3. How many did I manage this year? 2. It's not very good, is it? They just take me a while, and once I get the stocking stitch bit, I get a bit bored. I'm terrible. But yes, I'm going to be a little bit more mindful. The thing is, I like jumpers on my Make 9, and I'm not a massive fan of like having loads of socks and loads of shawls on there because socks are great. I wear socks all the time. Like, and the more socks the better, although I'm running out of space in my drawer for socks. And Shawls, I don't wear that often. And I keep knitting them because I like them, but then they don't get worn. So I don't want to have a load of shawls on there, which then I'm like, well, and I have about 10,000 hats because I used to only design hats for a little while. So I'm a bit like, I like to knit jumpers, but I don't have the time. It's a dilemma. I'll come back next week and my make 9 will be all jumpers. I'm in cloud cuckoo land. Right, it has been lovely chatting with you all again, and I'm really happy to be back. So I will see you next week with my make 9 for this year, and then after that we'll have a podcast because I've only been knitting secret stuff over Christmas and that, so there's no point doing a podcast just yet anyway. But when I do have one, there's hopefully a Rococo on the needles, because that is definitely going in the make 9 because I need long sleeve jumpers. So yes, and I do have another jumper in mind that I really want to get cast on, which is short sleeved, but still I want to get it done. I have the yarn for it, so it's happening, which is an Andrew Mowry one, but I'm not telling you anymore. It's a secret. You have to come back next week. Right, it's been lovely. I will see you all very, very soon. Thank you for being here and being your wonderful self. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.